guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Makes Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and today's video, so let's get into it. So, let's get into it. So this is the next original versus remake. And for this week, I decided to do Freaky Friday. Now, I was originally going to do it. However, with what happened over the past couple of days, I sort of never really got a chance to fully watch it. Like, I knew for a fact that I'd be watching like 6 hours of film, so couldn't really fit it in. So instead I went with Freaky Friday. So this is the 1976 going up against the 2003. Now, obviously with this series, I get you guys involved, and you guys picked the remake. So yeah, so let's get into it by start talking about the original. Okay, so we all know these body swap films. Basically, two people swap bodies, well, swap minds and bodies, and basically live out each other's lives. Of course, this one is basically a mum and a daughter. So we've got the daughter who's very tomboyish, doesn't really take care of herself, sort of like likes football and things like that. So she's not exactly like her mum, who's very sophisticated, very posh, very sort of like girly, you know. So sort of like they're two very different people. Now with this one, this is a bit odd because this is my first time watching this film. So not gonna lie, it was a bit of a weird one to watch. But with this one, they did it through a wish. So both of them said at the same time, I wish I could, blah, blah, blah. So what were my thoughts on the original? I found it funnier than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was, because it was from 1976. With the older films, you never know what you're going to get. You never know if you're going to get something funny, something bad, something cheesy. You actually got something pretty funny. Me and my mum both laughed at this film. We were both surprised at how much we enjoyed this film. And yeah, so I don't know how I feel about the whole them just saying, I wish this, and then it happened. Don't know how I feel about that. And also how they switched back. Didn't really fully agree with me either. So they're my only downsides to the film. But other than that, it was actually quite enjoyable. It's quite funny to watch. Like I said, there was quite a few laugh out loud moments. There's some moments where I was yelling at the screen. So like, for example, when the mum is inside the daughter's body and she's playing hockey. No, not hockey, field hockey. And these other girls are going up against her and sort of like bashing her and trying to make her fall, things like that. I was quite surprised. I was yelling at the screen going, hit her with the stick, get her back, you know. So I found that to be quite funny. But yeah, we surprisingly ended up enjoying this film a lot more than we thought. And that's good. I like that. I feel like I could return to this film. It's not one of my go-to films from the older era. Sort of like, I'd probably watch it if I was over someone's, or if I was staying over my dad's or something like that. Then I might watch it if it's on streaming. Like, that's how we watched it this week. But for what the original Freaky Friday was, it was actually quite fun. And it was quite fun to see how the daughter in the mum's body got to see what the mum had to do, because she had to do quite a lot and things like that. Wasn't a massive fan of the dad. The dad was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but it was just sort of like, he was very demanding in a sense. Like, I don't think he really cared about his wife's feelings too much. In the sense of he was quite happy to push her to do all these things last minute and things like that. But no, and I was quite surprised that was a young Jodie Foster playing the daughter. Like, even my mum was the first one to spot it. She was like, isn't that Jodie Foster? And I had to Google it, and I was like, yeah, that is Jodie Foster. But yeah, so the original Freaky Friday wasn't all that bad. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It was quite enjoyable. Like I said, I would return to it. But it's not my go-to, as in, like, for classic films. Like, when you're thinking of older films, that's probably not one I'd go for, mostly. If you catch my drift, it's hard to explain. But yeah, so that was the original. Now let's talk about the remake. So for me, I grew up on the remake. This is Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yet again, mother-daughter aspect. Except this time around, how they change over is due to fortune cookies and a grandma. Yeah, this old lady in the Chinese shop says this curse, and then basically they open the fortune cookie, and then by the next day, they have swapped bodies. So this one is a more modernised version of it. We're dealing with a grumpy teenager. We're dealing with a mum that deals with a lot yet again, but this time it's more of all the jobs she has to deal with because she's a therapist and she's planning a wedding. So this is all happening around a very busy part of each other's lives. And honestly, this film is hilarious, hands down. No matter how many times I watch this film, always get a laugh out of it, and I like returning to it when I can. It's not like with the original, it's not one of my go-to films, but it does unlock some childhood memories. The song that they play in the band, I think is a really fun song. I do enjoy listening to that. I remember for a while I kept listening to it over and over again. And in fact, it's in my head now. But yeah, to be honest, there's a cat tail. But to be honest, the remake, I think it's just so fun because Jamie Lee Curtis just comes out with some amazing lines, and the fact that these two played off each other very well is amazing. I'd love more films with these two. They're quite the pair. But yeah, when I think my favourite Jamie Lee Curtis line in this is when she's first pretending to be Anna, and she's looking at herself in the mirror. She goes, "Oh my god, I look like the Crypt Keeper!" That line, hands down, is just something that has stuck in my mind for years. But no, the remake. This is one of very few remakes where it either lives up to or goes past the original, which is nice because I love a remake when it does that. I like the fact that they modernised it, and I like the fact that it was... Sorry, the cat's plucking the carpet. I like the fact that, yet again, it's all to do with the fact of it's the mum dealing with a lot of things, it's the teenage daughter that's dealing with a lot of things, and yeah, it's just fun, and the ending as well is hilarious. I also like the fact of we had a love interest more in this one. Like, there was a love interest in the original, but not massively compared to this one. But no, this is a fun remake, and it's one of very few, like I said, that is either just as good or better than the original. But the question is, which one do I prefer? The original or the remake? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say it is the remake for me. As much as the original was fun and it was a nice little watch, because I have a lot of memories attached to this film, I think I'll always hands down go for this film. I know there was 2 other Freaky Friday films done by Disney. I knew there was a 3rd one, but I didn't know there was a 4th one. Like, yeah, I didn't know there was 4 of them. But yeah, for me, hands down, the remake is my absolute favourite. It is hilarious, fun, funny, and I heard rumours that we might be getting a second one, which, to be honest, I would actually love, because this is one of very few Disney films where I would love to have a sequel to it, just because I know how much I enjoyed the first one. And of course, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis back together. Would love that. But yeah, overall, the remake is my favourite, and I think it'll always hands down be my favourite. I will watch the other 2 Disney films because I managed to find a way to watch the 1995 TV version. I found it on YouTube, so I'm going to possibly watch it tonight because just in case it gets taken down. And the other one is a Disney Channel one that I can watch on Disney+. So expect a Freaky Friday ranking for those films. But I love body swap movies. I think they're fun, especially if they're done in the right way. Like things like It's a Boy Girl Thing. That was hilarious. Freaky, where it's a horror vibe. Honestly, when the body swap things are done well, they are hilarious. And they're fun to go to when you want a good laugh. And yeah, Freaky Friday, I think definitely would make my top 10 of the body swapping movies. I might do that actually. I might watch some more body swapping movies and then give you like my top 10 of the best. I mean, me and my mum watched one last year, the Family Switch, the one that came on Netflix just before Christmas. We watched that and we found that hilarious. So, yeah. Not too bad of films. I enjoyed both. They were really fun movies, both of them. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what more of these original versus remakes might bring. I mean, like with the It one, when I eventually do that, I've never seen the original. I've seen the 2 remakes that we got. Well, the one remake that was split into 2. But I've never actually watched the original with Tim Curry. Surprisingly, and yet I enjoy Tim Curry. So yeah, that'll be a fun one to look into. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments and thoughts on this original versus remake. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What's your favourite Freaky Friday film? Or in fact, what's your favourite body swapping film? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!